Hillel, we're now in Shalom Natanel.
Pirkei Avos.
Pirkei Avos, chapter 14. Chapter 1, I'm sorry, Mishnah 14. Hillel and Shammai. So now here's a few statements from Hillel. Hillel used to say, first of all, Hillel said a few things. Hillel said, we have three Mishnahs from what Hillel said. Hillel said, first of all, we learned a couple days ago that you have to love peace, pursue peace, love the creations, and bring them closer to the Torah. Then that was the day before. And yesterday we learned, don't try to make yourself famous if you're too obsessed with making your name famous. It could be you'll lose your whole reputation. Number one. Number two, always increase learning Torah. Never be satisfied with what you have. And if you have a lot of Torah, you have a big position, powerful position in the Torah world, for whatever reason it is, you're called rabbi, don't misuse your title or your position, your power, your name. Don't misuse it. Number four, then the Mishnah, the third Mishnah we learned is that was Mishnah 11, 12, 13, and now we have Mishnah 14 that talks about what Hillel said. Hillel used to say, Im ena nili mili. If I am not for myself, then who is going to be for me? In other words, if there's something to be done in the world, then there is everybody has something in the world that only they can do. That's what he's saying. If I am not doing my part, then no one else can do it. That's what they say, that Rabbi Zusha of Anipoli said, if I think that if I want to be like somebody else, then who's going to do my job? Who's going to be Zusha? He said that when I go up to heaven after I die, God is not going to ask me why I wasn't Rabbi Akiva, or why I wasn't Abraham, or why I wasn't Moses. He's going to ask me why I wasn't Zusha. In other words, everybody has their own unique job to do in the world. And it doesn't have to be a great thing. It could be just to be an honest person, to be a friendly person, to be a pleasant person, to be a helpful person. Huaya Omer, to be an encouraging person, to say a good word. So Hillel used to say, if I don't do my job, then who's going to do it? Okay, Sha'ani Latzmi, but on the other hand, if all I think about is just myself, then Mani, what am I worth? And it was the only way that a person can really do his job in the world is by thinking about others. So you can't just benefit yourself in the world. You have to, or as Professor Viktor Frankl, the Rebbe, once advertised, there were several letters and whatever, the Rebbe said that the only really valid method in psychiatry is this Professor Viktor Frankl. It's quite amazing. He said, one of the things he said was the door to meaning opens outward. In other words, you can't mind, there's this whole ideas in coaching or whatever, is the person must find himself, to reveal himself, to manifest himself, to improve himself. Think about yourself. And they put people in all sorts of weird situations in groups, in order so you find yourself, how I act, how I react on myself. So if a person's always thinking only about himself, then what is he worth? He's worth nothing. So it says, on one hand, there's something in the world that only I can do. I have to do it. No one can do it for me. On the other hand, if I only do for myself, then Mani, then I'm nothing. What am I worth? The imlo akshav, and if I don't do it right now, imosai, when? Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Because every single instant right now is very precious. Let's see what the commentary says over here. Hui Omer Hillel used to say, "Im en ani li." If I am not, im en ani doeg letikuni ulet hishtalmuti. If I don't worry to fix myself up and for my own completion, mili, who's going to do it? Mi ugly. Who's going to worry for me? Mi taken oti. Who can fix me? Very common thing in the world. People think that the government is at fault and that the president is at fault and my parents are at fault, my neighbors are at fault, my wife was at fault, my husband was at fault, everyone was at fault. So it depends on you. And don't depend on other people that they were supposed to have fixed you up, etc. But if a person only thinks about himself, if he doesn't worry about the benefit of others, then what am I worth? And what is my value? There's the value of a person. A person can only be found only in what he does good for others. If I don't do now, if I don't do immediately what I'm supposed to do, when will I do it? It doesn't come back. Every second is precious and every second is infinite. What a person does is there forever. Who knows what's going to be tomorrow? That I'll be able to do what I'm supposed to. Maybe the opportunity won't present itself when. Who knows if I'll be alive, if I'll be capable. Therefore, when a thing presents itself to do good, is do it good immediately. Some people say, even if I do for myself to fix myself up, then what am I? In other words, I can never really totally fulfill my obligation to the Creator. He gives me everything. I can never really properly pay him back. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do right now, when I am young, then when will I do it? I think we did this yesterday. When I am young, then when will I do it? When a person is older, it's harder for him to fix himself and correct himself, but it's never too late. That's the message of Pesach Sheni. That's what it means. If you don't do it now, how can you fix? But the Rebbe always pointed out that a person's age is not according to his passport. A person can be young always, in a good way and in a bad way. Young as a person is usually ignorant. A person can be young, he can be young and foolish when he's 80, 90 years old. On the other hand, a person could be young and full of energy and be positive, also the same thing when he's 89 years old. And take the other way around. To be old on one end is a bad thing. A person is old means he's decrepit, he hasn't got any power anymore, he hasn't got any hope. Or to be old means that he's wise. He doesn't misuse his energy that he has, and he doesn't misjudge things, he doesn't get angry, because he has experience. So being old and young does not depend on your passport. You should do immediately everything you have to do now. If you don't do it right now, good things right now, don't put it off till tomorrow, because nobody knows what tomorrow will bring. Mishnah Tetvav. Shammai used to say, Ose Torah Kava. You should make your Torah set. Omer Ma'at, say a little bit. Ose Harba, do a lot. V'hava kol b'panim kol Adam. You should receive everyone. B'sever panim yafot, with a pleasant face. Let's see what Kahati has to say here. Bira Mishnah Tetvav. Explaining Mishnah Tetvav. Very good. We are on, is this right? This is, let me see, what do you have over here? This is, what is this? Well, this is the Chumash. You have the Chumash over here. We're doing the Pirkei Avos here. There we go. This is the Father chapter 1. Excellent, excellent. We are now on Mishnah 15. Fifth. There it goes. Shammai. Shammai used to say, Ose Torah Chakava, make your Torah set. Let's look at what the Kahati has to say. If you can find Kahati and put it up, that would also be very nice. But we can learn here. You'll trust me that what I'm saying is what's written in the book. Shammai hoya shoneh betchunotav Hillel Chavero Shammai, that he was what we call the Av Beis Din. He was the assistant of Hillel. He was number two. He was different in his personality than Hillel was. Huaya Kaptan. He was very exacting, demanding. Usually Hillel's opinions are more lenient. And they say that in the future, when Mashiach comes, the law is going to be like Shammai. Because Hillel, according to the explanation of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Hillel dealt more with what people are capable of now. In other words, taking into consideration all of the difficulties and the hardships that people have. People are not able now in the time of Gullus, in the time of exile, to really live up to their potential. So you can't demand from everyone that they act perfectly. But in the time of Mashiach, you can and you must demand from everyone that they act perfectly. Now, we're not talking about getting punished. You can mention punishments. There won't be such a motivation that you'll have to warn people about. They're getting punished. You just have to inform people and tell people what their potential is and demand it from them. That was what Shammai is. Shammai is very demanding. So it says Shammai was kaptan. He was very demanding. The Chachamim said, La'olam yehe adam an vatan. Hillel, a person should always be humble and easygoing like Hillel. Va'alte kapdan, and you should not be demanding like Shammai. But kaptanuto lo ayata mitoch yachas ra lebriot. It wasn't because Shammai could not control his anger or the desire to be a ruler or whatever, to control. Ela mitoch shmirat al kavodo shel Torah, because Shammai was trying to preserve the honor of the Torah. If you aren't demanding from people, it's as though the Torah itself is not demanding. Umikan shelo ayan noeg bekaptanut. So now we see that the reason that Shammai was demanding, ela kalapi misha pagaba kavod Torah, only in order to preserve the honor of the Torah. People that would take the Torah lightly, as Shammai would be very exacting and demanding from them. How dare you? But Shammai also was really very pleasant and easygoing. Like we'll see what is his saying, what he says here. Let's see, what's the teaching of Shammai that he was remembered for? Shammai said, you should make your Torah keva. You should make your Torah set. Says the Kahati, limud Torah ikar. You should make learning the Torah the main thing. The kol shara sakov, and anything asakach, and everything else that you do should be secondary. Even if you only have 10 minutes a day to learn Torah, all the rest of the time you're traveling to work and you're at work and you're coming back home from work. And then when you come back home, you have to spend time with your wife and with your children. And you have other things that you have to do. All you have every day is 10 minutes to learn Torah. That should be your main occupation. That should be what you're looking forward to. That's the real you, is learning Torah. And everything else is like secondary. The things that I have to do, that the Torah commands me to do, I have to take care of my family, I have to make a living, I have to educate my children, I have to be pleasant at home. The Kain Omu, and that's what it says, the Dibarta Bama, you should speak only in them. And what should you be speaking in? Only in words of Torah. You have to talk to people, you have to say good morning, right? So you have the customer comes in, wants to talk about the baseball game or the last boxing match or something like that, right? So you have to be pleasant to them. You can't say, I don't talk. This is a waste of time. You're wasting your life. Be calm, be easy. Whenever you can say a word of Torah, put it in. But that should be the main thing in your life, is the goodness and the sweetness of the Torah. Therefore, you should make the words of Torah, that should be what you're really set in, and that should not be, something that you can push off every time. I'm a little bit tired now. We won't learn Torah. I got something else to do. Oh, there's a big, whatever it is, the World Series game or something. Therefore, I'll put it off till later. We'll learn the Torah. No, the main thing should be learning the Torah. And the other things, that should be secondary. Ba'avot of Rav Nassan, in the book of that's called Avot, Pirkei Avos of Rabbi Natan, he explains, you should make your Torah set. How so? If you hear something from a wise man, the Beit Midrash, in the place of learning, don't make the words of Torah nice saying, something temporary, something, a little bit of spice in life. That should really determine what your life is. You should repeat it and keep it in your heart, like these words that Shammai said. Whatever person learns, he should do. Was the Torah says that I should put a mezuzah? If the Torah says it, then I'm going to do it. The Torah says I should never lose my temper. If the Torah says, then I'm going to do it. The Torah says I should love everything. Then if Shammai says, then of course I'm going to do it. What a person learns, he should do. The Torah should be the thing that is keva, that determines his life. You should teach it to others, and they should do also. Like it says, it says you should teach them and you should observe them, value them, so that you should do them. And also in Ezra, the book of Ezra. Ezra was, he was one of the main Anshe Knesset Gadol, the men of the great assembly, Ezra. He built the second temple. He said he reinstated the Torah, brought everybody back to Torah. Ezra said, and so Ezra it says, Ki Ezra hechin levavo lidrosh et Torah Hashem v'lasot. That Ezra prepared himself to teach the Torah and to do. Lilamed Yisrael chok u'mishpat, to teach the Jews the laws and the statutes of life. Some people say shekavanot hatnavorim ba'avot, the Rabbi Nassan means like this. Some people say it means like this. Make your Torah should be set. Shelo tachmir la'atzmecha v'takel la'achirim. Olahipach. Don't be severe on yourself, and other people be lenient. Other people, you don't want to put on tefillin, do what you want. I put on tefillin. But it should be set to you and others. Every Jew must put on tefillin. Good, you have to be nice about it. You don't have to go and scream at people. It's not going to help. But that should be your goal, something or other, is to say, listen, God wants everybody to put on tefillin. It's a good thing. The same thing for me, the same thing for you, every single Jew. They say that the story was that famous Chassid called Rabbi Mendel Futafas, that he came to England. He didn't really know English very well. And they went out, but the Rebbe says you have to go out and spread Judaism. So they went to put tefillin on some people. Someone came up to him. He said, you Jewish, I Jewish. I tefillin, you tefillin. You're Jewish, I'm also Jewish. I put on tefillin, you should put on tefillin. And that's all he knew. And I'm no different than you. He was a chassid with a beard, and he was with tzitzis. He was a long black, or a casquette on his head. He looked like the typical picture of a religious Jew, that came out of Russia. And there's a person that's a modern person, says, me and you are no different. You're a Jew, I'm a Jew. It's the same law for everybody. That's what it means. Your Torah should be set. Ki Ezra hechin, kamoshe hechin libo, just like he prepared his own heart. Ezra, the sofer, he prepared his heart to do. If you read the book of Ezra, it's very amazing that Ezra came to the land of Israel. The Jews had been in exile for 70 years. 70 years is a long time. 70 years. That's like 3 generations. A person gets married when he's 20 years old and he has children. Now they're already 20 years old. And they have children. They're already 20 years old. So that's already 60 years. They're already 30 years old. So it says that the Jews in that time, they lost hope. They intermarried with the non-Jews that were in the land of Israel. The land of Israel is always a nice place. It's a place that draws everyone. True, only when the Jews are there does it really become fertile. But everybody had intermarried. And Ezra saw what was going on in the land of Israel. He said made a gathering, and he said, okay, I'm giving everybody a certain amount of time. Everyone divorce your wives. Send them all home. And everybody did it. They all did it. They all sent their wives home. Incredible. So that's what the Torah says. You're no different from me, right? You're no different from me. I'm a very religious person. I came back from Babel. I was learning Torah. Ezra was tremendously talented in learning the Torah. He knew everything. He was a tremendous genius, remembered everything. And these people were normal people living their lives. They just want to get along in life. They made a nice girl. What's wrong with getting married? All of a sudden he said, listen, there's one Torah. The Torah sets it for everybody. I'm no more Jewish than you are, and you're no less Jewish than I am. But what I have to do, you have to do. That's what it means. That's the first thing he said. The Torah is set. The Torah is God's will. If you are created by God, then you should do what God says. God creates everybody, then everyone should do what God says. Jew has his law, non-Jew has his law. 7 Noahide commandments. The Torah is set. The Torah's second thing that Shammai said was Omar ma'at aseh harba. Say little and do much. Ka'Avram Avinu, like we say about Avram Avinu, that it says in the beginning, ve'ekach pat lechem, ekcha pat lechem. Avram said to the angels that came, they didn't know they were angels. He says, ekcha pas lechem v'sa'adu livchem. He said, v'yikach chema v'chalav. Avram said, wait here to the angels. He thought they were guests. Abraham had just circumcised himself 3 days earlier. And he saw guests came because he wanted guests. And he said, take bread. And then he said, Vayikach chema v'chalav ben abakar v'asa'asa v'yitain lifneihem. He said, I'll bring you bread. And in fact, what did he bring them? He brought them butter. He brought them milk. He said he brought them meat. And they asked a question, how could he possibly do it? And that we'll talk about that later. It was before the Torah was given. Anyway, he put it before them. Mikan, or that he first of all he brought milk, and then they waited, and they brought meat. We'll learn about that today in the laws of milk and meat. From here we know that the tzaddikim say little and they do a lot. And what about the Rishayim? What about the bad people? Oh, they can make lectures and give speeches and wonderful, walk back and forth on the stage, yell and root and make gestures. They say a lot, and even a little bit they don't do. Where do we get this? From Ephron Achiti, the one that sold to Abraham his grave burial place, and Marat Machpelah to bury his wife. She said, in the beginning, he said, Eretz arba meot shekel kesef, beini ubeincha mahi, the land. And finally he said, Vayishkol Avram le'Ephron arba meot shekel kesef over Sechir. He said, Abraham said, I'll pay you money. He said, money? Who needs money? I don't need any money. I'll give it for free. We're all friends over there. And finally he said, right, I want the money. In other words, even what he said, I'll give it to you for nothing. Even that he didn't do. And finally he said, you should receive everyone with savor panim yafos. You should receive everyone with a pleasant face. If you bring guests into your house, don't bring them in, and you should have a bitter face. Hey, I'm going to have to feed these people as well. I'm just going to be losing money. They'll probably drink wine, eat my fish. That you're miserable. Because if you give to a person charity or free gifts, and your face is, I don't want to say is bitter, mala, in other words, you're doing it against your will, mala lavakatuv ke'ilu lo natan klum. It's as though you didn't give him anything. You want to give charity to a person, don't give charity like you're throwing it to a dog. With a smile, here you go, God bless you. But if you see someone and you're happy, even if you don't give him anything, you are treated as though you gave him a lot of gifts. Like it says, Shlos Azaros, he's here Shammai. If so, we see the 3 things Shammai said. This corresponds to what Yirmiyahu said. Chacham, Gibor, V'asher. A person must try to be wise, powerful, and rich. Wise, powerful, and rich. Very good things to be. Keneged Chacham, corresponding to a wise person, it says, Asa Toratcha Kava. Make your Torah the main thing. Be wise. Torah is wisdom. As far as being rich, it says, Amur Ba'at V'aseh Harbe. A rich person gets things done. Don't talk so much. Do things. Keneged gibor, being strong. What does it mean, strong? It means be pleasant to everybody. How is that being strong? That you conquer your own desire, your own stinginess. That you fight against your own, you say, kamsanut, your own stinginess, tight-fistedness. Eza gibur, who is a powerful person, a kovesh is yisr, a person who conquers his own bad selfishness. Some people say that these three things, that's what Shammai said, corresponds to what Shimon HaTzadik said. Remember, we learned before in the 4 or 5 Mishnahs earlier, on three things the world stands. On the Torah, al avoda, al gamilas hasadim. No, I'm sorry, right in the beginning, in the very beginning. It says on three things the world stands. On Torah, on avoda, and gamilas hasadim. Right in the first Mishnah. Keneged Torah, this is what Shammai says, make your Torah set. According to avoda, Shammai said, don't say much, do a lot. Avoda means work, do. And what it says, tov asher tidor, lo tidor. It's better that you shouldn't make vows rather than making vows and not keeping them. Oh, I swear I will do this, I will learn, I will go, I will give, I will help, I'm going to be right in the front, and he doesn't do anything. Regarding giving charity, Shammai said, Havim ekabel kol adam b'sever ponim yofes. The best gift sometimes you can give to a person is, let us say, treating him as a human being, being pleasant to other people, being happy to see someone. A person is happy to be alive. That's the biggest charity you can have. Okay, that is Pirkei Avot. Now let us go to